Hey, good morning, everyone. Blitzball Champ is back with a brand new video here on YouTube. It's a beautiful day. Got the sun out and got a big old glare on the side of my face. Yeah, but this morning I wanted to talk animazement. I know it's been a huge bummer that this year's animazement was canceled due to the EXO crisis. And I just wanted to take time to just take a moment and go back in history and kind of talk about my favorite moments and from all of my experiences so far at Animazement, ever since the first one that I went to. I see a lot of people have been, kind of showcasing some of their cosplay and their favorite moments. So I figured I'd take the time to do so as well as a longtime animazement veteran. And it took me a while to kind of put everything together. Like I had to actually jot notes down so that I could like put everything in order and remember everything. So I had to write it down. I'm not getting any younger. So yeah, let's jump right on into this thing. So I have all of my lanyards here of each year that I've gone, and the first year that I've gone to Animazement was 2008. So I got a Saturday pass. Shout out to my good longtime friend Sly Nature. Definitely check him out on YouTube. He has excellent artwork and is quite the craftsman as well. He's crafted tools, rings, stuff like that. So give him a follow for me. He's really cool. Sly Nature, capital S, capital N, no spaces. So definitely check him out. But he took me to my first Animazement, which was in 2008, and that was the last year that they had Animazement at the downtown Durham Sheraton Hotel and Convention Center, which that was the first time I had ever been to that venue. It was okay. It just like a lot of hallways were crowded, and it just seemed kind of small for the event. But they did pretty well at managing the space, and I only went there just Saturday, as I showed. Only had a Saturday pass, but it was nice. Like that was my real first experience with cosplay. I mean, I know that they have holidays like Halloween where people like to dress up, or just costume parties and stuff like that, which I really, growing up, haven't gone to many of. But this was my first real experience with cosplay. And I was 23 years old when I went to this con. I'm 35 now, getting ready to turn 36. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, where has time gone? 23 years old at my first con. And something really interesting, there was a particular person, I don't know his name, that cosplayed as Ko Leifo from the video game The Bouncer. Old PS2 game. It was like one of the first PS2 games to ever come out on the console. And I had pointed it out when I saw him, and he told me that so far that day, I was the only person that actually knew who he was cosplaying as Ko Leifo. So I thought that was pretty special. Made me feel kind of special. But yeah, that was my very first Animazement, 2008 at the Durham Sheraton Hotel and Convention Center. It was really cool experience. I had fun. Wasn't there for too long. I think maybe we were there for like maybe 4 or 5 hours, but it was a nice taste, and I really enjoyed it. And then the second Animazement that I've gone to was the debut at the Raleigh Convention Center Animazement 2009. Oop, flip this around. There we go. It's my name on the back. and got a weekend pass, see-through weekend pass. And yeah, so this was the debut of Animazement at the Raleigh Convention Center, which I love the Raleigh Convention Center. It's a very nice building, really good space, and it really did a great job of really just covering everything as part of the convention. Um, this was also where Noise, Uchu Sentai Noise, first performed, and that was when I first learned about this Japanese rock band. It was a great concert, really great concert. It was packed, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, Another memorable moment that year was there was a really big Kingdom Hearts photo shoot. So every one of the characters that you would know from Kingdom Hearts, which a good bit of them are also in Final Fantasy, got together for this big photo shoot on the top floor near the far right side ballroom area, which I think was ballroom B, either B or C. I think it was C. But they were setting up, and everybody was there, but there wasn't a Sora. We couldn't find a Sora. But thankfully, after I think like 20 or 25 minutes, they finally found a Sora, and then we had this really big cheer and hey, we found a Sora. It was really cool. It was a nice little fun moment because I mean, you can't have a Kingdom Hearts photo shoot without the main character of the entire franchise and Sora. So finally found a Sora. Everybody was happy. They went on with the photo shoot, and it was cool. It was really cool. Um, there was also two particular people that had on really cool cosplays from Guilty Gear. One was for Eno, and the other was for Jam. Come to learn in the future that I would end up working with these two for a while at Epic Games. So shout out to Stephanie Brazelpants Browse and Natalie Brickell, who were cosplaying as those two characters, and they've actually cosplayed as a couple of different characters as I got to know them the later years, from Lilith and Morrigan to Ryoko to a couple of characters from Gears of War. But it was just funny. Like, I've learned about them in the beginning and never would have imagined I'd end up working with them. But hey, small world, right? So, yeah. 2009 was a good year. Overall, it was a good year. The new space with the Raleigh Convention Center was really cool. Glad they did that. So, 2009 was good. 2009 was good. All right, Animazement 2010, which I had it on here. One second. Ah, Animazement 2010. This badge. It has 13 Animazement 13 on there, but I counted through the list and made sure. So 2010 was Animazement 13. So yeah, once again back at the Raleigh Convention Center, and this was my good friend. Shout out to Omar. Um, this was his first Animazement. So had some company, had a friend of mine to hang out and tag along. So he had a blast as well. And Uchu Sentai Noise returned for another concert, so got to introduce Omar to Uchu Sentai Noise, and he enjoyed them. I enjoyed them. And this was also the year that I met two friends of mine that would later on become really close friends and good con mates. Uh, that's my good friends AJ, who at the time was Magikio Shadow 15 on YouTube, now Visceral Motion, and my friend Sean, aka Heartbreaker Leo, which this was a very iconic event for me because AJ, now Visceral Motion, uh, had saw a video that I did on YouTube about Animazement, and he commented on there that he was going to be there. So, he pointed me out, and that's how I got to meet him. And Sean was with him at the time. Heartbreaker Leo was with him at the time. They both were still in high school, but it was just good to meet them in person. They had commented on my video, and I was like, hey, you're there. Hey, let's meet up. Let's chat. Let's hang out. You know what I mean? So it was really good meeting them, and that was just only one of many, many times that would lead to excellent friendships. So that's very, very special moment for me. Also did some karaoke. Did karaoke. Me and another con friend that I met. Don't remember his name, but he's been to Animazement quite a bunch. Uh, and I did the song "Ride On Shooting Star" by the Pillows, which you can hear in the anime and the ending theme for Fooly Cooly FLCL. Love it, love that anime. I need to watch the second and third season, but love it, love it, love it. But yeah, we both did karaoke with that song. It's not a very long song, but it was cool. It was really cool. Love that song. But Animazement 2010 was really fun. I really, enjoyed meeting AJ and Sean. Omar had a blast doing the karaoke, the noise concert. It was so much fun. All right, Animazement 2011 got ourselves a yellow badge. Animazement 2011. Shout outs to AJ and Sean. They brought another friend and actually treated his friend. Shout out to Alan. Um, Treated him to his first Animazement because if I remember correctly, he was from out of town, like I think from like another country or another state or something like that. But yeah, so he got to tag along with us and enjoy Animazement. This was also the year where I got to meet Philip Lee, who has done a lot of excellent cosplays over the years. And I didn't know him well at the time, but he was cosplaying as Guy from Final Fight slash Street Fighter Alpha. And yeah, later on in the future animazements, I'd see him. We would talk. We were kind of nerd out together. So that was my first time seeing him. And Anna Metal Chick, aka Catherine. Shout out to her. This was actually the first time me meeting her in person. I came across Anna Metal Chick through her YouTube. It was talking about anime and stuff like that, and it was in the recommended videos section. So I checked it out, and it was actually really cool. It was a really cool video, and yeah, I followed her, and she was originally from Wilmington, I believe, and I think they had like a small con called Anime Wave or something like that, which was like a 1 day con. So I had heard about that, and then heard that she was going to be setting up a booth, an artist alley booth, and yeah, she was dressed up as oh my goodness, from FLCO. I think Naruko, I believe. Oh, no, Haruko, from FLCL, with the guitar and everything. So, yeah, met her in person for the first time at Animazement, and yeah, I told her who I was, and ever since then we've kept in touch, we've clicked, and yeah, it's been cool. Actually, been really cool. And then also did the Cupid Shuffle. They had like a cosplay dance session, and they were doing the Cupid Shuffle, so I joined in on that. That was in one of the ballroom areas, I believe, ballroom A or B. But it was fun. They just had a dance session, like, hey, everybody that comes through, come dance. So I figured, why not? So I also miss all the Red Rover entertainment, which I don't along the years I don't really see people doing that much anymore, which I kind of understand why. I mean, it can be kind of a dangerous game, but it was something that, folks did a lot of back then. But Animation 2011, I didn't do a whole lot as far as like a lot of like panels and stuff like that with the con, but I think just meeting some new faces for the first time and just hanging out with friends was what made 2011 a good year for me. So, yeah, that was 2011 in a nutshell. Okay, Animazement 2012. Here we go. The text on this badge, on this lanyard, are autographs from two voice actresses, Shelby Lindley and Kara Edwards. I'm gonna tell you right now, this was probably my favorite year. Animazement 2012. I'd have to say this is probably my favorite year. Um, so another good friend of mine, shout out to Angela, joined myself and Omar for her first Animazement, which she had a good time, and it was good. It's always good to have more and more people. Like with cons like this and others, the more people, the merrier. Um, my good friends, shout out to Josh Claus, and Lewis, and Juju. I believe that was their first Animazement as well. Also got to meet up with Joy and Tristian. I believe I met Tristian for the first time as well at Animazement. And Joy I've known for years because she went to my church. But yeah, just catching up, meeting some new friends, and actually got the chance to hang out with Anna Chick and her crew, which was her friend William, the rap critic. Shout out to you. And I even got to interview them, which was fun, which was really fun. It was just out of nowhere, but they agreed to it, so it was cool. So yeah, uh, AJ and Sean were back again, and got to interview them as well. And that, oh my goodness, that was such a funny interview. Um, and an anime hell. Oh my goodness, this was probably my favorite anime hell, where they had the "It's My Challenge" song by it's from an old Bollywood movie, which I found out just maybe a year or two ago where that came from. But yeah, it's from an old Bollywood movie. Um, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I actually saw some other clips from that movie. It was pretty much like a musical, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Um, and then of course the rave. Oh my goodness, the rave. This was when the rave was up in the ballroom areas where they had the walls taken down, so you had the whole complete space open, like with ballroom A, B, and C. Like all the walls were down, and it was like perfect. Not only that, plenty of space, and I won't ever forget. Um, Me and the crew. This was pretty much the debut of the crew. Um, we got together and we came up with this idea where we were gonna get in one of the dance circles because they had a couple of big dance circles, and we were gonna do like this really cool routine. So we had Lewis kind of go into the middle of the circle. He backed everybody up, and then he went like that to kind of call us over, and then we all, like, the whole crew, just started doing the moving like Bernie to the middle of the circle where Lewis was, and we were gonna do another dance once we all got in the middle, but everybody like loved what we did so much that everybody was like, "Oh!" And then they all kind of collapsed the circle at the same time to the middle where we were to dance with us. That was like the most epic moment of that year for me. Like, oh my goodness. I know we had the Kotoko concert, which, that was Kotoko's first appearance at Animazement. Great concert. And I know after the rave, the crew were doing a whole bunch of handstands. Who could do the best handstands? Who could hold them the longest? But 2012 is definitely up there as one of my, if not my favorite year for Animazement. I had such a blast. We did so much. Meeting Christina V, Shelby Lindley, and Kara Edwards. Like, because at the time, Christina V did the voice of, oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. Noelle Vermillion from Blaze Blue. And Kotoko does some music from the soundtrack of Blaze Blue. So it was really good meeting them and seeing Kotoko perform. But oh my goodness, this was definitely one of my favorite animazements. All right, let's see, Animazement 2013. 2013, where you at? Where you at? 20? Ha, here we go. Animazement 2013. This badge was pretty cool. Alrighty, 2013. We had yet another noise concert, which I checked it out because hey, it's noise. They took a year off and they're back, so I figured, why not? Um, this that year, Lewis and myself, we battled each other in some Dance Central with the song Gundam Style, which which was a lot of fun. I like Dance Central. I feel like me personally, I felt like the Connect just wasn't as successful as it could have been, but I did really enjoy Dance Central. I know a lot more people like Just Dance, but I thought Dance Central was pretty cool, especially the later versions. Um, and this was also Anna Metal Chick was there as well and cosplayed as Yukiko Amagi, which honestly, that to this day is one of my favorite cosplays from Anna Metal Chick. Yes, I already know she's Asian, but the fact that she just nailed the character spot on. And at the time, I was into the Persona 4 anime because AJ actually introduced me to Persona 4. And while I hadn't played the game, the anime was out at the time, so he introduced me to that. Such a great anime. Love it, love it, love it. And the game is fun too. I just need to go through it and beat it. Um, there were also there were two Chinese friends that I made as well. That I had dinner with the day before Animazement. That ended up being at Animazement and got to hang out with them. I forgot their names. It was forever ago. Um, but yeah, that was really cool. And this was part of the crew. My good friend Matt and Jamal, Phoenix and DJ Prodigy. This was their first Animazement. So the crew's getting bigger and bigger, and it was just a lot of fun. Them hanging out with us, got to do some shopping and just really enjoying Animazement for the first time. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome. And yeah, this was this was fun. This was definitely a lot of fun. Uh, Not too many specific highlights with 2013, but just more people from the crew joining and just us having a blast together. All right, Animazement 2014. This was actually another lanyard that I really, really liked as well. Kill a Kill lanyard for Animazement 2014. Um, this was also the first con for two of my friends. Shout outs to Alicia Love and Zoji, which Joji is back in China now. Alicia back in North Dakota. But this was their first Animazement, and it actually worked out really well because Zoji came the first day. She wasn't able to stay for the whole weekend, and I was able to use her badge to give to Alicia so that she could come the following day. So that worked out really nicely. And I think this was also Dom's first Animazement. Dom, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but also part of the crew as well. Um, and I believe this is Layla. Shout out to Layla and Patrick's first Animazement. I think this was Patrick's first Animazement. I know this was Layla's first Animazement, but I don't know about Patrick. So if y'all see this, correct me if I'm wrong. Um, and then Kotoko returned for another concert, and her concert was awesome. And just yeah, more friends added to the experience, and you can never go wrong with that. Never go wrong with that. Um, Had a whole lot of fun, and I know there was a couple of times where got to see my friend uh oh man, oh, Philip Philip Lee. He was there, and he's always doing some different cosplays. I think that year he cosplayed as Strider Hear You, I believe. But dude is just coming at it. I mean, one year he was Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, I'm like, dude is just firing away at such excellent cosplays. It's amazing. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much 2014 in a nutshell. Ah, okay. This next one, 2015, I can tell you right now, the best lanyard, 2015, Crunchyroll. Well, I know it's upside down, but Crunchyroll lanyard 2015 is also up there near the top for my favorite Animazement. 2015 was an iconic year. Let's see. Patrick's brother Matthew, and a friend of his, I forgot what his name was. This was their first Animazement. Cesar, shout out to you. This was his first Animazement, and I got to meet the man, the man himself, director of Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, and my all-time favorite anime, Cowboy Bebop, Mr. Shinichiro Watanabe. I tell you, when I found out that February of that year, because Animazement's usually a Memorial Day weekend, it's in May, and I found out February, it was either late January or February, that I found out that Shinichiro Watanabe was one of the announced special guests. I flipped out. I went crazy, lost my mind, had a fan moment, uh, had a girly experience. Call it whatever you want. I went crazy when I saw his name announced, and I'm like, I have to be there. I have to be there. And but took it up a notch with the help of my good friend AJ. So there's a friend of mine. Shout out to Grace Pang. Um, that really wanted to be at Animazement but couldn't because she was going back to Korea for the summer, and she left I think a week before the week of Animazement. She's a big fan of Cowboy Bebop, so me and AJ decided to do something very special for her. So I ordered. We pitched in. and ordered a replica model of the Swordfish 2, Spike Spiegel's ship in Cowboy Bebop. It's about this big, but we got this replica model, and I brought it with me to Animazement, and Watanabe-san autographed it. I had him autograph it um, to her, and he thought it was so cool. He even took a picture of it on his personal cell phone, and oh my goodness, I won't ever forget the reaction on Grace's face when we got her that gift. So totally worth it. I'm glad she liked it. I know it's been a while since I've seen her, so Grace Pang, hope you're doing well. Um, but yeah, that was just really really special. It's always good to be able to be a blessing to somebody, and I think AJ and I did a great job in doing that. Uh, but yeah, it was such an honor to meet Shinichiro Watanabe. Really really cool guy, and stayed in his Q&A panel, and just oh my goodness, I met Shinichiro Watanabe. That just completed my whole weekend that day. So that was really really special to me. Um and then of course the real funny moment at the end where Sean and Jamal. Sean was dressed up as Deadpool, and Jamal was dressed up as Super Vegito, and Sean as Deadpool challenged Jamal as Super Vegito, and I won't ever forget. Bam, bam, boom, key blast, gone. Oh my goodness, we all bawled out laughing. Just how he did that, like it was hilarious. Just that whole sequence was hilarious. But yeah, 2015 was a great year. One of my favorite years for Animazement. Ah, okay, got a few more to go. Got three more to go. All right, 2016. Ah, Animazement 2016 was this lanyard. 2016 is also up there as well for favorite Animazement. Uh, I got to meet Kyle Herbe and Lauren Landa, who autographed my copy of Street Fighter V, because at the time Kyle did the voice of Ryu, Lauren Landa did the voice of Karen, who I'm a big fan of Karen ever since Street Fighter Alpha 3, so I was like, oh shoot, might as well get this autograph. So that was really cool. Um, this was shout out to Allison. This was her first Animazement, which kind of felt bad because I'm like, dang, well, why did it take so long for this to be her first Animazement? But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Glad she was able to join us. Shout out to my good friend Jing Fu, who came on Sunday. This was her first Animazement. Shout out to my good friends Josh and Guo. This was their first Animazement. They got to join me for a while that Saturday, so I was like, oh snap, so happy. Also got to check out Cosplay Chess for the first time. I've heard so much about it, but I've never actually seen it. So that Sunday, um, myself and Jing decided to check out uh, some of the cosplay chess, and I could definitely see how it's a very time consuming event, but it's neat. It kind of you know gets a chance to entertain the crowd and see how everybody does with their acting, and the character that they're cosplaying as. So it's pretty neat. It's actually very entertaining. It just the whole thing can go on a long time where probably the game wasn't even finished. But it was pretty neat. It was really neat. Um, the big highlight for me was the Oreska Band concert. I had read up on Oreska Band when I heard that they were the announced musical guest, and I had never heard of them, but I looked them up and I was like, huh. an all-girls ska band from Japan, and I'm just like, huh, that's that's new to me. I mean, I'm familiar with ska. I don't know a lot of it, but I'm familiar with ska. And I was like, huh, Japanese all-girls ska band. This is interesting. So I was curious. I was really curious. Went to their concert. Wow, the Oreska band concert. Now there weren't a lot of people. There weren't a lot of people at this concert compared to Kotoko and Noise, but they were excellent. They got the crowd into it. The crowd was enjoying themselves. Excellent concert. Stayed for the whole thing. Excellent concert. And then, while there was speculation whether they were going to do an encore or not, they decided to not do an encore, but instead invited fans to go backstage for autograph session with them. So I did that. I bought two CDs. Got they only did one autograph, so I got one autographed, and then they did another autograph session the following day, and I got the other CD autographed, and also went to their Q&A panel. So if I remember correctly, it was five members. You had a lead guitar, you had bass guitar, you had drums, trombone, saxophone, trumpet. So six. Yeah, six members. Yeah. One was brand new. Wasn't officially on the band at the time until like maybe like 2 weeks later. Um, but yeah, so got to meet them in the Q and A session, which, like I said, wasn't a lot of people at this Q and A session. And then they did the second autographs section, or the second autograph session. Went to that, and I noticed that people were taking pictures of them and with them. And back in the earlier years of Animazement, we weren't allowed to take pictures of any of the guests or take pictures with any of the guests. They were really strict on that. But the translator that they had, um, when I saw everybody was doing that, I was like, oh, we can actually get pictures taken with them? And the translator's like, yes, of course. I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to go back down. I didn't know you could take pictures with them. I was like, I'm going to go back down and get in line. I want to take a picture with them. So, got to take a big, nice group picture with them, which was really cool. But yeah, those ladies were awesome. We also passed by them downtown Raleigh when we were making our way back from getting something to eat. I think we went to Beasley's Chicken and Waffles or something like that. It's in downtown Raleigh. And we were making our way back to the convention, and we passed by them. They passed by us coming our way, so we waved at them, and it was really, really cool. But that year was the year I became a big fan of Oreska Band, and yeah, like they were my favorite musical guests. I know they may not be as popular as Noise or as Kotoko, but I think the fan experience and just the show they put on was like the best that I've seen at Animazement. So I became instant fans of theirs. So, but yeah. And then the other highlight was meeting the Jesus Otaku crew. So shout out to Brooke, shout out to Emily, shout out to Patience, shout out to Mason, which I didn't meet Mason until the following year. But those three ladies I met at Animazement ended up becoming good friends with them. So yeah, that was really, really cool. 2016 was a great year. Was a really, really great year. All right, 2017, which is this one. I like this lanyard as well. 2017 was where I participated in the Jesus Otaku scavenger hunt, which that was actually a lot of fun. It actually gave me something to, keep on my toes throughout the whole con. And I did finish the scavenger hunt. So, you'll have to check out my highlight video for that one. I document each of the things that I had to do. Um, this was also the con where I saw the best cosplay that I've ever seen. Um, it was two ladies cosplayed as Yojimbo from Final Fantasy X and the little dog. I think it's Daigoro. I think that's the name of the dog that's with Yojimbo. Perfect, spot on cosplay. Best cosplay I've ever seen in my life to this day, and one of my favorites. Love it, love it, love it. Um, this was also another friend of mine that I met, Ajani, that Sean and Jamal invited. This was his first Animazement, so it was good meeting him. Dude's really big and good into really big into Overwatch. So speaking of Overwatch, Animazement 2017 was the year that I bought Overwatch after being convinced heavily by Sean and a few others among the crew. I broke down and bought Overwatch. So, and it turned out to be a good investment because I really like Overwatch now. So yeah. Uh, Also got to hang out with Jeff and Steph Perry, Princess Panda. Shout out to her and Jeff of my Geek Out with Games Out crew, aka I am Jeff Albert, aka Jeff's Couch. Ran into them. Uh, they were working at Boss Key at the time, which was in downtown Raleigh. So they stopped by while Animazement was going on, so I got to meet up with them. Um, Hung out with Jolie. Shout out to John Slayton and his lady Carrie. Got to hang out with them for a good bit. Jolie normally plays in like the fighting game tournaments and just destroys everybody and stuff like that. This was also AJ's wife's first Animazement. Alicia, shout out to Alicia. Um, Glad she was able to join us and hung out some more with Mike Roog and his niece, and we were just having a lot of fun. Um, the big highlight for me with 2017 was the Toonami panel. Oh my god. Being able to relive my high school years, going through every last one of those slides at the Toonami panel. Oh my god. Was such that to this day was one of the best panels I've ever gone to at a con. That Toonami panel was spot on, brought back memories, just going through the history of Toonami, like wowzers. I mean, that was such a great panel. The best panel. So, so yeah, those were the main highlights. Spending a lot of time hanging out with friends after dinner and just us catching up and talking and just laughing at funny stuff was just a lot of fun. Like 2017 was a really great year. And then finally, 2018, which was the last year that I went to Animazement because I didn't go in 2019 because I went to MomoCon. I really like this lanyard as well because there's cherry blossoms and there's green, and green's my favorite color. Okay, Animazement 2018, the last Animazement I've gone to. Um, Ran into a good friend of mine's crew. Shout out to Gloria. It was good to see her, which in the first place, I did not know she was big into anime. So having to discover her at Animazement was really cool. Shout out to some other people that got to see Maureen, Grace, Tiana, uh, John, tons of tons of people, tons of people. DJ. Oh man, having a brain fart. It's hard to keep up with everybody. But there was a Persona 5 group pick that I really, really thought was excellent, and got to check that out. Uh, got to watch some of J Trap, the jump rope group, perform, and that was actually a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. That group's been a regular at Animazement, so it was good to see them and really take the time to watch them perform. Um, the return of Shinichiro Watanabe. He came back for another year, so got to meet him again and got some other stuff autographed that I didn't get to before. So that was really cool. But yeah, it was really good. This was also Moretta, Matt's girlfriend's first animazement, so glad she got to tag along. Um, Also, there was the Nine concert or Nine concert. I checked out some of it the first night and then the rest during the closing ceremonies. I mean, it was all right. If anything, I liked the costumes that the ladies wore, which was pretty cool. But they're like a Japanese like J-pop group, so but yeah, they were all right. Um, the rave, the rave in 2018 was actually really good. I hadn't really been to the rave much in the previous years because honestly, it just got kind of stale with like the crowded people and the all the bo smells and everything like that. Just I was never much into the rave after that first year, but the rave was actually really great in 2018. That was a lot of fun. Um, I also did some more karaoke. I did the song "Last Surprise," which is one of the battle songs from Persona 5. Lyrics, vocals by Lin Inazumi. So yeah, sung karaoke to that. Had a pretty decent crowd for it. I would have loved to have done "Whims of Fate," but "Last Surprise" was the only song they had. So, but yeah, that was pretty much 2018. Like I said, that was the last year that I went because in 2019 I went to MomoCon. But yeah, so that seals the deal of the my history at Animazement. So yeah, I went for was that 11 years. So yeah, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 years. I was right. So 11 years straight at Animazement from '08 to 2018, and these were some excellent years. Like I said, this was one of my first cons and a con that holds dear to my heart. And unfortunately, was planning on doing Animazement 2020, but got canceled. But who knows when I will go back to Animazement again? But it will happen at some point. Next year, we'll probably, I think me and the crew may shoot for MomoCon 2021, but we don't know. But Animazement will always hold a spot in my heart. But had some great memories, some great moments, a lot of fun. So to the staff and crew at Animazement, thank y'all so much for Animazement. Thank y'all for bringing a lot of fun and excitement. And I hope that y'all will get a chance to host another Animazement, hopefully next year or just as soon as possible. But anyway, that's all that I have. let me know what y'all think. And any corrections, anything that I may have, just let me know. But let me know what y'all think. What is some of y'all's favorite Animazement experience? How long have y'all been going to Animazement? I'm sure plenty of y'all have been going since the beginning, which I think the first Animazement was in '98. Which '98, that was when I started high school. So and that was back when Animazement was in March, and it shifted to May in 2002, which was the year I graduated from high school. Shoot, and dang, that would have been a great way to finish out high school, was to go to Animazement. But I didn't know about Animazement. I did not know about Animazement until '07, and that was way after it happened. So yeah. But you know, what were y'all's experience? Like, who's been there since the beginning? Who's been to all of the Animazements that they've had so far? Um, but yeah, by all means, share with me some of your favorite memories. I'd love to hear them. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see you soon. Peace.